So on today's video, guys, we're going to be deep cleaning the inside of this Dodge Ram pickup that is diesel powered, which if you guys didn't know, I used to be a Cummins engineer, so honestly a Dodge Ram diesel pickup is near and dear to my heart, and I'm excited to deep clean this one because not only is it an old school diesel truck and it's never been detailed. The owner works on a farm, he's a hunter, and there's dirt, there's spills, there's grease, there's everything all over the carpets and the seats of this one. So I'm excited to make this interior look like new again for this owner, so make sure you stick around to the very end to see the before and after shots. And if you're new, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. It helps make this channel possible. And let's go ahead and get started with this detail. Now, a little backstory on this truck. The owner picked it up used, and before that the car had been sitting and wasn't really well taken care of, so the transmission was blown, the engine needed some work, so the whole powertrain was redone, but the inside was never deep cleaned, so that's why I'm taking the opportunity to clean it up for them. And the first thing with any detail is just get all of the crap out of the car. Get everything out of the way, like the shotgun shells or the crossbows that get in the way of fully assessing what the inside needs to get cleaned. With all the stuff out of the car, the next step is to start the vacuuming process. And if you guys are looking for some sort of wet dry vacuum that you guys want to use on your details or just for vacuuming your car in general, I use a VacMaster Beast, which is honestly, it's a very small, compact 5 horsepower vacuum, but it kills it and it's really portable. So if you guys want to pick one up, I have it linked in the description box below. It's in all my videos. I actually have 2 of them so I can have one on each side of the car. It makes my details easier, but it's got enough power. It can suck up water if you need to for extractions if you don't want to buy an extractor. So it's honestly a great budget option for anybody that's looking for a new vacuum. Now, for all you die-hard Stauffer Garage fans that have seen my videos in the past, you guys know that I love to remove the seats when I do a detail to get that full deep clean effect. And for this one, I sadly was not able to do it. And the one thing that I've realized with American pickup trucks or American cars in general that I've noticed is that the bolts for the seats go through the car body, through the frame, and stick out the bottom side of the car. And I think that's done so that way they do actually rust on the threads, so that way they don't back out. So it's like a makeshift Loctite. But because of that, I tried to back out one of them and I was so seized in there, I didn't want to risk snapping off a bolt, which would have been a whole different mess of issues to deal with. So I ended up keeping the seats in there, but luckily they were high enough up that I was able to get underneath them. And the good news is because it is a bench style seat, there wasn't a lot of stains or anything in between the seats underneath that carpet. A nice thing about this vacuum too is it does come with this crevice tool and this claw tool, so it kind of gives you all of the different pieces that you need. One thing I do recommend is getting a vacuum bag inside your shop vac, and it makes cleanup super easy because all you have to do is take out the paper bag that all that dust and debris goes into and just throw it away, and then put it on a new one, and everything stays clean, your filter stays cleaner longer, and it makes sure your vacuum operates better over a long period of time. So one request that I've been hearing a lot is you guys want to see these videos without the music and just hearing the detailing sounds, so the vacuuming, the pressure washing, and all that fun stuff. So I'll let you guys know in the next video when that channel is going to launch. One of the nice part about some of these pickups and some of these cars that I work on is when the door panels are all plastic and there's no cloth or leather on there, it makes it a lot easier to clean because you can utilize things like your drill brush to take care of a lot of that dirt and grime over the years that's collected on the surface, over having to be more gentle with a brush or with a microfiber towel. So for this one, I'm spraying it with my all-purpose cleaner, and then I'm using my soft bristled drill brush to kind of help me take care of and speed up that process. So one little secret for you guys, if you have fluid that gets stuck in that speaker grill, try using your vacuum to get it all out. Now for all those hard to reach spots, I like to use my Fox Clean detailing brushes to get into all those little nooks and crannies. So if you guys want to pick up a set, head on over to foxclean.com. It's my own personal brand. It helps make this channel possible. I also have microfiber towels and drying towels over there for you guys. And I'm also working on a ton of new products to bring out as well. So go head on over there after this video and pick up your set now. In my last video, I detailed a dump truck, and this truck was actually detailed at the same location. So the good news is that the day that I did this one, it wasn't as cold and it wasn't snowing. But the problem is for me is all of my equipment and my tools, I'm really set up more for being in a garage, my own personal garage, over being a mobile type setup. So the one tool that I wish that I had for this detail that I forgot was my steam cleaner, because these air vents and the amount of dirt and grease and grime and just dust in general would have been so much easier to tackle if I had my steam cleaner on me. So the next time I'll make sure I have it. The one thing that I miss about some of these older cars with most of my details is the knobs don't pop off like these ones do, and it honestly makes the job so much easier to be able to pop off those different knobs, get behind them, and just get them clean. And you know, you might call me a purist, but I miss the old days of things being simple. Like that BMW X7 I did several videos back, as nice as that car was, I honestly was just, the amount of technology and buttons and gadgets and stuff scares me from the fact that if something breaks, the whole system probably is going to go down, whereas something like these older cars, they're just so much more simpler. So maybe it's just me getting old, or maybe I'm just a purist, but if you guys can relate to that sort of idea, let me know in the comments below, and let me know I'm not the only one that feels that way. It's always fun to watch the vacuuming portions of these videos, especially on these floor mats, how much of a difference just vacuuming up all that dirt and dust will do to making the floor mats look like new again, before we even do any extraction.
I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Me too. We're letting go, rip it up, we're letting go, rip it up. I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Me too. We're letting go, rip it up, we're letting go, rip it up.
So the other day on Facebook Marketplace, I found a Mighty extractor, a Mighty 210, which those things go for about $2,000 brand new. I found one for $600 used, and I missed the opportunity to pick it up because I didn't get there fast enough. Somebody else beat me to it. But one thing I want to say to you guys is if you're looking for any sort of equipment for detailing, whether it's a drill, a polisher, an extractor, or a pressure washer, don't ever discount the idea of getting something used, because majority of the time those components are not beat on by a professional detailer every single day. It's usually somebody that picked it up, thought they were going to use it more, and you can get something super, super cheap for a huge discount, like the Bissell or the Bizzle, whatever you guys, tomato, right? If you're looking for one of those smaller extractors, I think when I first started doing YouTube and detailing, I used one. I found it on Facebook for $15. So definitely don't disregard the idea of buying something used, because there's plenty of options out there, so that way you guys can save a buck.
I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Me too. We're letting go, rip it up. We're letting go, rip it up. I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Me too. We're letting go, rip it up. We're letting go, rip it up. I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Me too. We're letting go.
So the one thing that threw me for a loop on this detail was the fact that the seats were inside the truck, because it's been such a long time since I've detailed and extracted seats still inside of a truck or a car. Usually I pull them out because, one, it makes it easier for me, two, I get all the stains and stuff that might be underneath them, but three, it makes it a lot easier for me to film, because when the seats are still in the car, you know, you kind of get in the way in front of the camera, whereas if they're outside, it just gives you more room to kind of position the camera appropriately. So I made it work for this detail, and honestly, the seats turned out amazing, which you guys will see here in these before and after shots. This extractor pour reminds me of McDonald's sweet tea, which honestly I could go for some right now because that stuff is awesome. Now this was the nastiest stain inside the car. This is on the driver's side rear passenger area. Not sure what it was. It took a little while to get it pretty much agitated and a lot of that stain lifted with the drill brush. I think it was probably some sort of grease or oil. But by the end of this, it was just took a couple passes with the drill brush and a couple passes with the extractor to get it all out for the most part. But because it had sat there for so long, this is kind of one of those opportunities to tell the owner that sometimes actually carpet dye is a great alternative to replacing a carpet here in general, but this would be one where I would say carpet dye would be the main thing to do if you want to get it to look completely brand new again. Now, one question I want everyone to answer down below is, what car do you wish would come back? And there's not a lot of cars nowadays that haven't come back in general, but I think the one car that I wish that would return and be resurrected by the manufacturer is the Nissan 240SX. I think that is, I've owned two personally. I've had both of them swapped with SR20s. They were completely set up for drift, and I honestly miss those cars like no one's else because, one, the driving experience, but two, if you've ever sat in a Nissan 240, that there is a certain smell that car has, and I don't know why, but every 240 smells the same, and that is one car that I wish would come back. So you guys let me know in the comments below, what car would you wish that would come back from the dead, or a car that you wish you could get back into. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.